The blue group today is working on solving two-step equations. Just FYI, guys, I am making two separate video recordings. So this recording is meant for tomorrow's lesson, which is August 16th, 2021. If you want the solving two-step equation video from last week, I am going to make a separate video and it will be listed under assignments right above the two-step equations day one PowerPoint that's not in the group folders. Okay. So the learning target, this is the one from Tuesday, learning target success criteria from Tuesday. The one that you guys should be copying down today, the learning target has stayed the same. The success criteria is slightly different. So we are learning how to solve problems involving right triangles using Pythagorean theorem. And then our success criteria, hold on one second, I just want to blow it up. All right, success criteria is I can solve two-step equations, I can isolate the variable, and I can use the inverse operations. So your warm-up for today, guys, is two error analysis problems. They gave you two equations. They showed the work on two equations. So they want you to explain what the mistakes was for question 1 and 2, and then also go back and fix the equation, which is very similar to what we've been doing. So question 1, we had x minus 45 is equal to a negative 27. And question 2, they have negative 8x is equal to a negative 96. Again, you're going to explain the mistake and make sure you complete this on your warm-up sheet. And let me go back. Please make sure you write the learning target success criteria on your opening and closing sheet for Monday, which is August 16th. Explain the mistake and then go back and solve the equation to get the correct answer. This was the warm-up from last Tuesday. Again, if you want me to go over that, please go back to the other video. So the vocabulary is still the same, guys. If you had a vocabulary already copied down from last week, you don't have to copy this down again. Just make sure that if you don't, I didn't add reciprocal on here, did I? I did not. So just make sure that you add reciprocal. If you need it, you can ask me and I can give you the definition in person, or you can also get it from another classmate. And in the next video, in the other video, I will go over it. But remember, our vocab is variable, constant, coefficient, denominator, like terms, and combined like terms, as well as inverse operations. Okay. And remember that the inverse of addition is subtraction, and the inverse of multiplication is division, and vice versa. The steps are still the same. We're going to get the variable by itself, move the constant on the other side of the equation using inverse operations. Then you're going to combine the coefficients or like terms. And then finally, step 2 says you're going to isolate the variable, get rid of the coefficients stuck to the variable. And then your actions is you're either going to divide by the coefficient or multiply by the denominator. And again, I'll go more depth in the other video. So you guys were given two examples. Please make sure that you have these examples in your note. We got an example on solving two-step equations with 5 plus x over 6 is equal to 13. And when they solved, they got x is equal to 48. And we have example number 2, 6x minus 2 is equal to 10. And when they solved it, they got x is equal to 2. And then the teacher do slides. So again, I'll go ahead and go through these just in case you guys need to see the example again prior to you actually working on the classwork. So we have a negative 4 plus 5 over 4g is equal to 1. Again, if you want and you're doing a PowerPoint, you guys can click the draw tab and then click on the pen, and then you are able to change the pen color and all those great things and write directly on your screen. So the very first thing I want to do is get this variable by itself. In this case, our variable is the 5 over 4 times g. So in order to do that, I need to move this negative 4 here. The inverse of subtraction, because this is negative, will be addition. So I'm going to add 4 on both sides. And again, let me go back a slide. If you want the teacher do slides, guys, please make sure that you watch the video. So I added 4 on both sides. Once I do that, my negative 4 and positive 4 will cancel. And I'm bringing down this 5 over 4. So remember, this is the part I'm trying to isolate. Okay, the variable. So I'm bringing down this 5 over 4. G is equal to. Now here I'm going to combine. Okay, so 1 plus 4 is going to give me 5. Now this is when reciprocal comes in handy. Remember, I need to multiply by the reciprocal, which means that I'm going to flip this fraction 5 over 4. Okay, so in this case, I'm actually going to multiply by 4 over 5. So again, this is one of the instances where reciprocal comes in. Whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to multiply this side by 4 over 5. Now, remember that fractions cancel top to bottom. So 4 and 4 cancels, 5 and 5 cancel, which leave me with just G on the left-hand side. Now from here, I'm multiplying straight across. So you got one or two options. You can either multiply straight across, or you can go ahead and use Desmos. So let me model using Desmos. I'm going to open a new web browser. I'm going to go to desmos.com. When I type in desmos.com, it's going to take me to this website. I'm going to click on Math Tools, and then I'm going to click Scientific Calculator. So let's go back to the problem and see what it is that I'm trying to solve. We have 5 times 4 over 5. So my calculator, I'm literally going to write 5, and then times 4 over 5. It's different ways to do the fraction. You either can use the A over B button, or you can use the slash key. I think I typed that in wrong. I did. I'm sorry. Let me go back. I did 4 times. I'm doing 5 times 4 over 5. Typed it too fast. So the calculator gave me my answer is 4. Again, I could just write 4, or I can multiply straight across. I multiply straight across. 5 times 4 is going to give me just 20. I forgot. Let me put the pen back on. Matter of fact, this might be better because it's smaller. So I'll get 20 over 5. And again, I will have to simplify this fraction, which will give me just 4, which is exactly what the calculator just gave me. Okay. So those are your two options. Now, the next example that we have is, I'm going to go ahead and change the color so we are able to distinguish the two. 7W plus 2 is equal to negative 19. Again, this is the piece that I want to isolate. This is the piece that has the variable. So in order to undo this positive 2 here, I need to take the inverse, which is going to give me subtraction. So I'm going to subtract negative 2 on both sides. And anytime you guys see a fraction like this, you're going to take the reciprocal. Okay. So first step is to get the variable on one side by itself. So I got a negative 2 plus 2. Those two will cancel. I don't have nothing but this 7W. So I'm bringing this 7W down on the left-hand side. And then I'm left with negative 19 minus 2. Again, if I don't know what my answer is, I already had a calculator pull up. I'm going to do negative 19 minus 2. Let me double check and make sure that's what it said. Negative 19 minus 2. That's correct. So it gave me in the calculator negative 21. Okay. So I am left with 7W minus 21. Remember, this is the side that I'm combining, which is the other step. And so I'm divide by 7 on both sides. And now I'm left with just W is equal to. So again, if I don't know the answer right off the top of my head, I have negative 21 divided by 7. I can go back to Desmos calculator, hit the blue button, negative 21, hit the blue button to get a new line, divided by 7, and my answer is going to be a negative 3. So in this example, W is equal to a negative 3. Okay, and I am finished with those two examples. Switch back to the pen. Again, if you don't have these examples copied down, this is a good time to pause the video and make sure that you guys go ahead and copy it. Now we are looking at the last example. They gave me 1 minus d over 4, and that's equal to -7. So again, the very first thing I want to do is isolate my variable. Okay, so here's the piece I'm trying to get by itself. Negative d over 4. So in order to do that, guys, this is already a positive 1. So the inverse of addition is going to be subtraction. I'm going to subtract a -1 on both sides. Okay. So +1, -1 will cancel. I didn't do anything with this negative d over 4, so I'm just bringing it down. And then from here, I'm combining these two on the right, -7 and -1. Okay. Again, I'm going to go to the Desmos calculator, make sure I'm doing this right. So -7 minus 1. It's going to give me a -8. Okay. So I get negative d over 4 is equal to a -8. Now, step 2 says, okay, now get this variable by itself. So the operation that is being done right now is division. So in order to get rid of division, I need to now multiply. So I'm actually going to multiply both of these sides by a +4. Or multiply both sides by 4. Remember that any whole number can be written as something over 1. So both of these 4s will cancel, which means I'm left with just a negative d. And then I multiply. So -8 times 4. Again, if I'm not sure what my answer is, I can go back to decimal calculator. So we're going to do -8 times 4. And it pops right up as a -32. So I get a negative d is equal to a -32. Finally, guys, your variable can never be negative, okay? Your variable can never be negative. So in this case, I need to divide by -1, and this will be my very last step. And so my final answer, remember in multiplying and dividing two negatives give you a positive. My final answer will be D is equal to just 32, +32, okay? And that is my final answer. Again, if you don't have these examples in your notes, please go ahead and pause the video at this time to copy down your examples. Okay, so the color by number, guys, if you are trying to complete this activity, basically what you're going to do is you're going to solve each of the equations, and the solutions to your equations will be inside the coloring page, okay? I am going to write the answers on the board. If you guys are completing the assignment online, then you will just click the draw tab like I showed prior. But again, click the draw tab. You can change the pen color, and then you can actually just show your work on the slide. I snipped every question. Okay. Um, Once you have finished this page, then you are done. Please make sure that if you are finished before class time is over, that you go ahead and make sure that your Delta Math integer assignments are complete, and it will be Delta Math integers 1, 2, and 3. So again, for this particular set of 15 problems, if I don't remember to do it, please guys remind me to write the answers on the board, but I will give you the solutions to all 15 problems, and all I'm focused on is for you guys to actually show your work to how to get to the answer. Okay. If you don't have any additional questions, then you are done, and you are phenomenal. You guys did an awesome job. And if you do have questions, please feel free to reach me during class time. Send me a message in Verge, or you can even send me an email. Have a great day, guys.